How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity. It's time to get inspired, and today's inspiration comes from Dave Johnson. And if you're not familiar with his amazing work, check right over here. He is a wonderful comic book artist and illustrator. I really dig his style. I think he's got a really unique sense of color and design, and a really great way to capture characters. I think he's got a unique take that's kind of a mix of like Mike Mignola with elements of the guy who did The Rocketeer, and almost a little bit of Jamie Hewlett in some of his stuff, and just overall a great design sense and a really cool, almost propaganda poster feel to a lot of his work that's really just lovely. But like I said, a lot of his stuff is just really cool ideas that you'd almost just want to use each and every one of his images as a representation, or like a very obviously he does cover art, but I feel like each one of his images inspires so much thought, and like there's a world behind it, or what's the meaning behind that, or how did that come about, and it kind of leads the viewer to add his own narrative behind each one of his images, and I think that's really cool. It's like a story teaser almost to each one of his images, and I think that's like you just want to get in there and figure out what's going on here, why is this going on, and that it's a tough thing to do as a creator to make the viewer or the person who's going to interact with whatever medium it is that you're passionate about want a little bit more and want to go further. That's really what you want, is to try and hook them somehow and get them interested in the things that you're passionate about. So definitely check out more work from him. I love this one. This idea of it being like a Macy's Day Parade style astronaut floating around is really a cool idea too. And this one's just great layout, really great color and everything. Sorry if I'm a little disjointed. Been a couple trips to the ER today with some host people. So let's go ahead and take a look at a quote that I was able to find from him that I really thought was just phenomenal. And that was, it's a new world, and nobody can tell you that you can't do something. If you have desire to do it, then just start doing it. And it's probably going to suck when you first start, and that's okay. Because, I mean, heck, I've been doing this for a long time, and I still would love to get a new microphone or a new setup and an even faster computer and just offer this stuff as best quality as I can. But you got to start somewhere, and you got to keep going and keep pushing yourself each and every day, using whatever time you have, whatever energy you have, and whatever utensils and the knowledge and stuff that you have at the time. And it's important to put stuff out there and to keep growing. I think it is important to share things, because and that's a tough thing, because I tend not to do that as much with my illustration stuff. That stuff I tend to hide away or not present it in the right way. But I think it's important to kind of get that feedback loop, so when stuff kind of hits or when it doesn't. And it also helps kind of boost your, I wouldn't say it's your confidence level, but it boosts that ability to take criticism better, which is different than confidence. It's just more of I guess it's a self-esteem thing, but not in that it's like a positive self-esteem, but it's that you're okay with the negative, or you're okay with nothing. And that's a difficult thing too, is almost for a creator to not get any feedback at all. Because if you get negative feedback, at least you can grow from that. And if you get positive feedback, I mean, that feels good or whatever, or you can pat yourself on the back or whatever you want to do. But if you get nothing, that's almost just like, oh, okay, well, is anybody there? But I think it's important, if you're passionate about something, that even if you're going to get negative feedback, even if you're going to get no feedback, even if you're going to get positive feedback, that you just keep doing it. Have the desire to do it, and just do it. And don't let anyone tell you you can't. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into the animation for the day. This is the Gunship rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at 3dfiggins.com, and I will throw a link in the description below, along with a link to more stuff on Dave Johnson as well, if you guys want to check out more of his gorgeous work. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the videos, we give ourselves 48 frames, give or take. I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well, and we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process or talking about something. And with the way this started out, who knows where we're going to go talking about today, but something hopefully to revolve around the creative realm while I animate as well. But the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is looping back to kind of the quote we were looking at from today, is to hopefully just do it, you know, and encourage you guys and inspire you guys to go off and push yourself each and every day to put another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. So, that being said, let's play around, let's stop rambling, let's get into some animating here. So, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this one. It's a really cool rig, so should I do like an idle animation here? Or should I do like a fly in, loop out? Let's see, maybe we'll do that. Fly in, drop down, pick up, and then fly off. That'll work. Okay. So, with that being the case, let's grab both of those and push them off screen here. Or just leave it right there for now. I don't think there's much we can really do for posing here, except for a little bit of something like that. Maybe dip these guys down a little bit here. What about this? I'm sure there's some wing extension thing here, but that's more of an afterthought kind of a controller. So we'll start off here. We'll go ahead and grab everything, make sure we just have our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected. Go ahead and set our frame range at 48, but I'm pretty sure we're going to go longer since there's not a lot of controllers here to play with. And we'll go ahead and set our first key. Again, we're going to kind of keep our camera probably a little bit tighter, a little bit closer, so that's going to start off cam really. And then we'll go have it be about 1 second in. Whoa. Let's grab just the right thing here. That guy. We'll bring it in. We'll have it go down. And I think in this case I'm gonna not do as much of an arc here. I think that's more interesting ideal rather than swoop in, drop, and swoop out, to have it go hover, then almost drop straight down, go back up, and then jet off again. I think that's more helicopter-y with the kind of hover idea. And then we'll hover there for, let's say, a couple of seconds there. So let's just pop it back here. Lift it up. And just finding kind of an arbitrary number for right now and jet it off. Okay, so really rough idea, just trying to set our shot mostly. So we're going to fly in, drop down, lift up, and drop off. Okay. Now, one thing is I'm gonna probably go a little bit. Let's look at the window, animation editors, graph editor. Let's look at our translate Y here on this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'm not gonna intersect through the ground so much. And then we can keep this, so that'll extend later. So eventually we'll get there, so we'll leave that right now. And I think I'm going to hover there for a couple of seconds here. Okay, the rest of it's okay for timing, but I want to give myself about 32 to 48 now. I want that to be maybe a second and a half. So that would be 56 plus 12, 66. That would put, so 48 would go back to 66 here. So we'll grab our graph editor here and we'll push that back to there. That way we can have, and we'll do a little bit of up and down kind of hover there. And I think this could be maybe about 2 frames shorter. overshoot there a little bit. And I think I'll give myself another about 6 frames for that to go here. So let's see. Maybe 2 more frames to get down. 2 more frames to get down. Bow, bow. Let's see. Okay. And then I think we're going to end up being at about 120 here. Hey, that's right. Cool. And then I think I'll take 83, set that, and we'll have a little couple more frames before we start the real move off. So let's see, just gonna kind of slow that down a little bit more. Give me maybe about 2 more frames, and then we'll really push it a little bit further so it zips off a little bit more. And let's make that a little more constant. And angle that a little bit more. Okay, that should be a little bit better. So we kind of zoom off after that. Still feels a little too fast or too slow, so let's push it a little bit further. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. Okay, so where are we? Still feel like we should probably go a little bit faster, right? Still feels slow going off. Okay, let's see. Maybe just a little bit faster towards the end. We'll just keep pushing this until we get it to where it feels like it's zooming off. Alright, let's see that now. Okay, that feels pretty good. So let's go ahead and save our file here. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. For more information on that and all the stuff we've mentioned so far, check out the links in the description below. And let's see, just didn't think I mentioned the wonderful program of Maya yet, so I want to make sure I did that. And let's see. And then we'll go ahead and break this up a little bit more. And we're going to keep that there. Keep it a little bit closer there. We'll hold that for a few frames here. Let's see. And then we want to get this one, bring it in there so we lock down here. push it down a little bit further. So 2, then 5, and we'll go here, do a little bit of bounce here. So what do we do? 2 and 5, 8, 10. Just make it a little bit like kind of hover and bounce there too. Okay, so let's see that now. Let's go one frame later on that. Maybe another frame too. Alright, so I have 4, and we have 5, and let's go 6 from there. Kind of keep with that inching timing there, and then 7 from there. Put us here. And 8. Put that one there. I'll grab everything here, and we'll go 9 frames from there, so that'll be 77. So 72 would be our 77 now. Okay. So I'll grab our graph editor here. And whatever we have at 72 will be our new 77. So I'll grab that. Push that back. That'll give us that one more space for one more move here. Okay, let's see. We'll go squash these down a little bit more. So let's see. The first one still feels a little too much. Let's see. And then maybe let's give us some. Let's see, what do we have here? This is one on 42. Okay. I'll delete this one. Okay. And give us one more frame in between all of these here. One more frame there. One more frame here. Just slow it down even more. One more frame there. One more frame here. The other one. One more frame here. One more frame there. Okay, slow it down even more, so let's see. Okay, now let's look at this guy a little bit more. Let's push that forward a frame. Oh. So we can have it go a little bit down here. Scale it back here. sooner. Delete that one. So why don't you drag in a little bit more? Keep dragging here. And back up again, so it gets a little bit of a bounce there. Delete that one. Let's see. It's pretty close. It's just I think this one might be a little too far. Hey, buddy. Hi. What's up? Alright, let's watch it now. Go on, go play. Go on. There you go. Okay. And let's not let it drop just yet. So we'll do one more little kind of recoil here. So we got 42 to 47, that's 4 frames. That's 5 frames, and then 6 frames from there. And 2 frames from that. Okay, we can get a little bit of recoil there too, so let's see. It's too much movement there. So I'll bring it back. Just a hint of that we want. Maybe a frame longer for each move. Let's see. And then maybe 1 frame different there. And I'll keep it down a little bit further here. Actually, I'll just copy that, make it last for 1 frame longer. Really drag it here. Maybe not as much there. Alright, let's see it again. And let's go 2 frames later, so it's a little bit slower. Yeah, it's a little too slow. We could still drag it a little bit more. Try to clean up that curve a little bit better. Okay, so let's look at it now. Okay, so I got the basic idea now. Now we can start playing around a little bit more. I think the main idea is working. So let's go ahead and create a new camera here. That way we can start playing around with some of this other stuff here. So let's look at these guns. Actually, before we do anything, let's do a little bit of rotate, just a teeny bit. First of all, though, I want to make sure I lock in my camera. So let's go Window, Outliner, go to Perspective, go to Frame 1, and we'll set a key there just so we lock in our camera. Okay, and let's set it there. So it's just in case we zoom out or something accidentally, we've locked in our camera here. Okay, and let's look here. Let's do a teeny bit of rotate up. Go down here. Rotate up a little bit. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Drag it down a little bit there. Go up a little bit there. Down a little bit. And up again. Okay. And let's figure out how that looks. We just wanted to add a little bit in there. Okay, so we need to tone down this stuff towards the end here. That can still be closer to 0 here. Maybe about 2 frames later. Let's watch it now. Alright, that feels pretty good. So let's start looking at those top guns on the turret here. We'll set that there. We'll drag them down a little bit. No, did not go up or down. Translate. Okay, can translate, so we can go down a little bit here. Drag them up a little bit. Go down here. Up there. Down there. Up there. Down there. Up there. Down there. Down a little more. Up. Down. Down. Okay. Something akin to that. I'm sure we're going to have a good amount of polish to do here. But let's see how it feels. I think this one should be less. And the next one should be less and less. Taper it off a little better. Okay, so yeah, by about this point we should be almost flat. Let's watch it again. Alright, and let's see what other controllers we have to play around with here. let's look at this thing and see how we can add this little wing extend here. Put it there. We could extend it out here. So they go down and then they go out. We can do a little bit of in, out, in, out, and bring them in there, Okay, something like that. Keep them off here. And key there, put that up. Okay, so we go a little bit closer, then we go out. Again, it's just a little something to add a little bit more here. Okay, it's not a very big controller, a very noticeable one, but still adds a little bit more here. So let's see what we can do with these guys here. Let's save our file here. We'll switch back to our other camera just so we can grab all of them. Actually, let's grab the front ones. And let's this fan rotate. This one only does the back one, and this one only does the front one. Okay, that's kind of weird. What about this one? Does the back one? What does the front one? Alright, I think I'm going to leave that alone since it's kind of broken. It's not really having a uniform way that it affects the other ones here. So I'll leave it where they're at, but let's see. Whoa. Could do some of that. Okay. Let's see what we can do there. Go in a little bit here. Then we'll go down here. And we'll really drag it down there for the let me here. Come on. Kind of boost off here. Again, we're just going to do a little bit of that there. Key there. And this needs to happen a couple of frames sooner. Just kind of like shoots off there. We'll just flat it so it's straight for right now. So we don't want it to hit here, so but I want it to be quicker. And then be almost back again there. And be back to almost invisible again. So just let's see again. Okay, and then we've got from 41 to, let's just say that's, try to make it even here. Let's go 2 more here. That almost feels late, so maybe 1 frame sooner. almost feel like it could be 2 frames sooner. Let's see. Okay, so we got 40 to 80. So we could do it every 10 frames. We could kind of fluctuate in and out. So I'll put a key there, put a key there, put a key there, and key that one. Let's see. Too slow. Let's see, it's 48 times 5 is 40, so we could do 8s here. 8 there. 8 there. 8 here. 8 there. Let's see. Let's have him push out a little bit more and not pull back as much. Let's see. Okay, and we'll go a little bit less than that. We just want a little bit of fluctuation there. So let's see. Maybe even less than that. We'll scale it back a little bit more. Still feels like we should really launch into it. There we go. Feels better. Almost feel like we could delay it one more frame though there. And let's look at the variation in here, the kind of bounce. And we'll scale that back a little bit more. Okay, now we'll just lower fins. Oh, we could do that too. Okay. So let's key the lower fins there. Key them here. Key them here. Key them here. Key there. Just trying to build in kind of the timing. I want to stick with it. And key there. There. Okay. And now let's grab all of those. Let's push it back so it's about like this here. And we'll add a little variation there. Maybe we need to do a little bit more here. Okay, it's probably pretty close to it. Kind of get a little bit more of a hovering motion there. Something like the thrusters would be keeping it up. Okay, let's go back to our original camera here. Let's take a look at it. I almost feel a little too soon on this part, so keep one more, and then out a little bit further. Maybe I should just push this frame a little bit more. And give it one more frame of recoil here. Feels like it should pop back up a little bit faster. Alright, I think that works. So let's turn our curves back off. Show that and just look at it without that there. Okay, I think that works. So let's go ahead and save our file here, and now we'll create just a little base here just so we have something to kind of reference it within 3D space. Zero that out, zero that out. Push it back a little. Scale it in a little bit more. Push it back a little bit. Okay, and then we'll copy that, paste another one on there, scale it up, bring it down. A little bit more. And we'll do one more. Get a little bit of a tiered effect here. Alright, took way too long to do that. And we'll grab those two and we'll assign a new material to them. Let's put a Lambert on there. Change the color here. Give us kind of a little bit of an orangey color. Kind of go with the orange highlights in there. We can get a better orange there. A little more reddish. It's pretty close. And then let's delete that real quick. No, I don't want to do that. Come on. There's an extra one I pasted on here. Let's move that down. Delete that. Okay, there we go. I knew that was going to come back to bite me there. Alright, now let's grab both of those and let's mute it a little bit more. So we're kind of riffing off that same color system, but a little bit different. And then we'll create another polygon primitives. Let's create another cube just so we have a different background color here. Go back to our original angle there. Let's see. And we'll take the color. We'll go with that one, but we'll Sorry, I think that'll work. And I think this middle one, I'm gonna assign a different material over there. Just put a gray. So it's not the same as the background. Alright. I think that works. We could definitely spend another hour polishing it, adding some more stuff, but I think we got something usable out of there. And let's take a look back at where we started. We were looking at the beautiful work of Dave Johnson. He said, it's a new world, and nobody can tell you you can't do something. If you have desire to do it, then just start doing it. Don't believe in people that are going to tell you no. Try to get those people not in your head. And maybe it's you. Maybe it's you that's saying, you know, you're too tired, you're too weak, you don't have enough time, you don't have enough money, it's too stressful, you'd rather go off and do other things. But if there's something that you're really passionate about, don't let anybody step in your way. Not yourself, not other people, not time, not money, not carve out that space, no matter if it's going to drive you insane, to try and take another step in your journey each and every day. Remember, if you're watching this, you are the creative future. So go out there and create. Use your imagination. Come up with some awesome stuff. I can't wait to see it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love you guys lots. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You can do it. Take another step in your journey. I believe in you. And I think that'll wrap it up for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. A little rambly, crazy day, but we made it through another one. And that being said, we will see you, for some more animation tomorrow.